Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Camellia reaction. Today we have Flash Me Back as requested from the Patreon producer Q by Joshua Great, and that's basically all I gotta say on the intro for this one. It's another Camellia song. It's been a hot second since I've listened to a Camellia song, and I can't wait, as always, to listen to more, even though it's mostly just me being flabbergasted the whole time due to my lack of skill in comparison. I still love to hear it because it's always a journey no matter what it is. So without further ado, let's go! Ooh, an epilepsy warning. Always a good start. Hopefully the video up in the corner isn't large enough to affect most people. Loving the vibe already. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Take me back, Daddy Camellia. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to say it too early, but this one feels a little bit more tame. I have a feeling I'm about to be proven wrong. Ooh. Oh, maybe not. But there's always time. Ooh. Love that snap in there. Great sample. Yeah, this one is fairly tame so far. I can rock with this. Until... Woo! God! That wasn't the direction I expected. But it's one I love. Woo! Having fun with the drums there. Always appreciated. Love a good offbeat change up once in a while. This is definitely not the usual sound I expect out of Camellia. Obviously it has Camellia aspects, but not the bullet hell flare I'm used to, you know? But I love the impact. Woo. Subtle pitch shift in there, I think. So far, this has just been really fun. Blast. It hasn't overwhelmed me yet, which is weird, but I kind of like it. Yeah! It's just a solid punch to the gut. I love a song that can keep me awake. I love the revving synth on this one too. It's just slightly delayed. Great sidechain as always from Camellia too. It's got a really crispy punch to it. Bit of a change up. And the resolution. Man. Yeah. This one caught me off guard a little bit. Most of the stuff I've heard from Camellia has been basically bullet hell in music form. I haven't heard much of this level of Camellia's stuff that's a little bit more paced, and it's just kind of punchy and fun and constant energy, but not overwhelming energy. And while I don't mind that at all, it's also nice to hear a different sound of a producer I've always respected. Especially recently with all these requests I've been doing from my Patreon producer queue, and a lot of them being from rhythm games, I've heard a lot of this similar genre, and especially like UK hardcore and surrounding sister genres of that. And this kind of hits a similar vibe for me. I don't know if it is UK hardcore, but it definitely sounds very similar to that, if not. It had some more what I would call traditional EDM, like dubsteppy complextro stuff in there, but it was more for flavor, which, like I said during the video a lot, is that usually that's kind of what I expect out of Camellia as a whole, is more that complextro energy and just having a lot of things happening all at once, throwing in constant BPM changes and just having a good time with it. But it's almost like a bullet hell, and it's really hard to process all at once without listening to it a few times and dissecting it more and more and peeling back the layers like an onion to figure out exactly what's happening every single time you listen. This one was more simplified. It had more pace to it. It was still the same great production quality that I've always known from Camellia, and I love a lot of that. Also, the really interesting choice of certain samples. Like, I loved that snap in there. I don't exactly know what that snap was. I feel like it was just like a multi-layered snap like that, but like layered on top of itself a few times. It sounded kind of like an echo through the whole song, but also like not quite that. It definitely sounded like a couple of like single snaps just layered right next to each other, one after the other, and kind of doing this like fade in a way. So like that's cool. That sound design is really neat. And again, all the synth stuff going on, just Camellia, the master of synth, and understanding how synths work together and sidechaining them perfectly for the bass and allowing all that room in the music for them to just kind of come in and out and have that pulsating rhythm go. I love the amount of delay on that one main synth that was like most of the song was made out of that synth. I adore that. And it's a subtle thing, but it's just the way it kind of drags itself back up, that like lift back in, like he purposefully took that and delayed it by just a couple of milliseconds to really drag out that lift on the synth, and it just feels so weirdly good. Like that balance can be kind of tough because when you're making synths and sidechaining them with the bass, you want to make sure that you have enough room in there for everything to work well. Like if you have it too early, you'll lose all the attack on the synth itself, and that initial punch won't really be there. You'll lose it underneath the kick and like whatever else it's sidechained to. But in this one, he almost overdid it, but just before the brain would really process it as too much delay. So it kind of worked as this perfect scoop upwards, and it's, again, a little bit more labored than it usually would be. I think the average idea is to go a little bit shorter than this on the delay, just to keep that attack kind of there, keep it somewhat close to the base, so you're not losing all of that punch. But in this one, he pushed it over just a little bit, which I think is a nice, weirdly kind of happy medium from what you would expect there to be a little too much. But again, that's just the master at work, really. It's making those changes, those slight adjustments that most people won't even notice, that they don't really care about, but you feel that while you're listening. Even if you're not a producer, even if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, you would feel that listening to it. Even if this is the first time you've ever heard this genre, that influences you a little bit. It changes your perspective of the song and how it feels to you, because everybody can sense rhythm. Even if you don't have a good natural rhythm, most people can still kind of understand what that is and feel rhythm, even if you're not rhythmically gifted. And it's choices like that that make me want to keep coming back to Camelia's work, because every single time there's a little change in the sound design like that that makes me perk up a little bit and go, hey, wait, that wasn't there before. Or if it is there before and has been there before, it's been covered by so much other stuff going on in the song that you don't really process it, you don't feel it, you don't hear it. It's kind of just in there underneath a bunch of other layers of stuff, which is fine because it still needs to be there to create that sound profile we all know as Camelia's work. But when they strip stuff down like this, and Camellia goes back to what I would call more of like a roots sound to themselves, like this is stripped down, no bullshit, what I imagine Camellia sounds like before he starts adding all the other bullshit on top of it, which, not to say that it's bullshit in a bad way, but it's a lot of other stuff, so I'm gonna call it bullshit. I feel like I'm over-explaining the bullshit term, but that's just what I call it when you add a bunch of layers on it. That's not a negative thing at all. But it's really nice to break all that down and hear just what I expect is kind of the building blocks of his normal workday, and how all of that comes from the ground up before all that other stuff is added on. So this is really neat to me. It's almost like kind of peeking behind the curtain in a way and seeing an unfinished demo of sorts, but I love that because that's what it is. And it feels so real, it's almost grounded in a way compared to his usual stuff that's kind of just so much nonsense going on that's really fun, but also like, it's a lot. This is just the opposite. It's simple, it's clean, it's the way you're making me feel tonight. It's awesome. I adore this sound. That was a really dumb reference, and I think that's about all I gotta say on this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other songs you want me to get to, by all means, drop them in the comments below, or if you want to guarantee a request, I have tiers on my Patreon and my YouTube memberships where you can guarantee a request out of me, and I cannot say no, no matter how goofy it is or how awesome it is, I will definitely get to it. And of course, if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!